We have the amazing Dr. Truott, and I have some good news, Dr. True, about the Magi devices. These are the little devices called the MAGI. I'd like you to give an amazing explanation of the initials. This is a less than $400 device that can pulse at 4 million Gauss pulse magnetic field at 432 hertz to re-energize your cells and turn off toxins, get rid of cytokines, and re-energize your stem cells to regenerate you. Turn off inflammation and kind of, I call resurrect you electromagnetically. And this device is portable, can be charged up and run off batteries. Tell us the latest what's going on with the Magi. We're actually getting them sold right now. People are buying them, and they're going to start soon delivering them as well here. So what's the story?
Well, we're just finishing up the final wrap-up phases of it. We've done all the testing of the circuit board and the magnetic structure of the flux. I was meeting with one of my key people up here in northern Idaho who runs a water structuring company. And in fact,
right.
as we speak, there's in Baden-Baden, Germany, there's an international water conference going on where they're basically discussing the really amazing qualities of water itself. Water can be structured in the form of electromagnetic pulse that is pretty doggone amazing. Victor Schauberger did this with just basically running water around certain obstacles that were in geometrical design, and the water began to actually create its own vortex of energy fields. Yeah, we know water can run a hydroelectric turbine, sure. We're talking about something much different than that. We're talking about the energy itself that comes around the water molecule. So it's all interrelated. As I explained in the conference where I presented a couple of weeks ago, light. We all know what light is. Without light, there's no life on Earth. There's no photosynthesis of the plants. There is no life as we know it without light. But light is simply, in the physics definition, a transverse electromagnetic wave.
Right. In other words, everything basically is a digital hologram of light, is what you're saying. A little butterfly, a person, a tree growing fruit, it's all a digital hologram of light, right?
So, without a doubt, the human body, in all of its complexities, is electromagnetic in nature.
Right.
We all are human cells because,
they're like little batteries.
Creates energy, like a cell battery. It has a negative polarity plus a positive pole, so there's an acid versus alkaline structure that drives water through the cell membrane and creates energy in the form of what's called adenosine triphosphate, or ATP.
Right.
And when that's created, then life is what we have. The very thought, when you have a thought that you think, and of course translate that into speech, like we're talking right now in a dialogue, well, that's electromagnetic in nature as well. I mean, we measure that through electroencephalograms, the brain scan machines. We can measure, and now there's a new form of magnetic resonant imaging, MRI, that can actually measure your thoughts and what you're thinking. Well, talk about a brave new world. Of course, the Central Intelligence Agency, the Deep State, or we want to call them, through DARPA, the Advanced Research Projects Agency, has been studying how to basically control the thought of humans for decades. I mean, since the Korean War, they've been doing this in what's called MK Ultra. And I got to tell you, Dr. Bill, I don't know of anybody that's more studied more of this topic than I have. I mean, I've done probably 100 different radio shows on the MK Ultra. Senator Frank Church Committee of Idaho, Senator Frank Church came out and actually held hearings on the MK Ultra. His staff exposed a lot of this. It was shocking to me. But
for example, the Blasey Ford, the one that came forward with evidence against Kavanaugh, is a MK Ultra, not only psychologist, but also a kind of a weaponized, female false witness.
So whether, the whole thing that just shocks me is, I think the thing that conspiratorial government, and I say there's no such thing as conspiracy theory. It's conspiracy fact. It's some very, very evil, dark,
right,
that we say satanic people in charge of the swamp. Yeah, I mean, just that.
America, we can go off on that for a while, but here's what I want to talk about. It'll get it back to our Magi. What does MAGI stand for? What does it stand? What do the initials mean?
Well, that's exactly where I'm going with this, Dr. Bill. Give me a little.
Okay, I'll go a little further and then because I'm following you, but I wanted to see what Magi means. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, because see what it's all about is you've got to be able to have your brain functioning like any other organ in your body. Your organs, whether it's your heart, your lungs, your brain, your kidneys, your pancreas, it all has electromagnetic energy field. Okay?
Exactly.
So if you drop below a certain threshold, research has shown that causes a disease state, whether it's in your brain, a dementia, lack of memory, Alzheimer's disease, ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease, et cetera, et cetera. It really comes back to a loss of magnetic field. It goes into kind of a south polar structure. So Magi, the reason why I named it Magi is because we found that there is a new level of Gauss. Gauss is what's the measurement is named after this researcher, named the last name of Gauss, who measured the actual electromagnetic field of magnets, whether it's electric or just static, in the form of magnets such as the new neodymium or the old ceramic magnets, as the case may be. But magnets are just flat out amazing because of what your body has to have, that magnetic field, or you have disease states happening. So we found that Gauss can be measured actually by a certain range of frequencies called, that I call acoustic Gauss. So I came up with that name. That's mine. Acoustic Gauss is what I call it, because when we hit a magnetic regular Gauss field with some acoustic frequencies, what happens is we're going to have a huge new powerful field that I call acoustic Gauss. So Magi simply stands for the magnetic acoustic Gauss infuser. It's the device.
I love that. Magnetic acoustic Gauss infuser. Okay. And by the way, you have this very, very clever 7 positions of these pulsed magnetic magnets that will reach up to 4 million Gauss field strength to actually regenerate the body at 432 hertz. Explain what that does and why it's attuned to that particular frequency.
Well, I found I did a lot of research in sound. That's what, my doctoral dissertation that I worked on for 2.5 years with Dr. Lance Pauling before he passed away in 1994. Pauling shared with me his first paper called simply Resonance. I have a copy of that. I think I sent it on to you. His first paper, Resonance, is saying that everything is vibratory in nature. Well, building on those shoulders of Dr. Pauling, Dr. Becker, and others, I published my doctoral dissertation that he was very, very helpful in helping me focus on, was simply harmonic resonance. In other words, you take resonance and then it's like music, Dr. Bill. There's things, you have 3 notes that you play on a piano keyboard, and that forms what's called a chord. Or a guitar, we have chords that then form songs and melodies. And that's, what would this world be like without song, without sound of music, okay? It would be a pretty dull place, I think.
I call it the song of DNA, where mineral resonant frequencies turn on these genes to create structural proteins and enzyme, which is a protein wrapped around a monatomic mineral to make or break chemical bonds. DNA doesn't code for anything other than that. That's it. Now, it can recode for a particular organ, and if you take a destroyed protein of a specific organ, the peptides actually will stimulate your DNA to say, hey, rebuild the heart or the lungs or the eyes. All our peptides developed by Dr. Kavinson in Russia at the St. Petersburg Academy, where they were working on anti-aging, are basically peptides for degraded organs that tell the DNA to rebuild the organ. Now, I'm working on extracting the frequencies of those harmonic resonant fields. And what's neat about everything, because I'm collaborating with you on this, and you've taught me a lot, is I've taken your knowledge, the knowledge of many other people I've worked with over the years, and expanded it even further. And what you have is neat devices. I call them, your little devices, I call them all three of them. The QRS and cell beetle mat, number one. The photon sound beam Tesla violet ray machine, now this latest one, I love it, is the Magi. I call them resurrection machines. They resurrect you electromagnetically, don't they?
Well, I was just sharing this again with this colleague up here. He's a brilliant researcher as well. I laid out, I showed him a little video. I think I sent it to you, where I have my tri-field meter, where I measure the original static field of the 8 magnets, and then add the 9th magnet in the antenna field of the Magi soundboard, or the circuit board. And
right.
Shockingly, it goes from 200,000 Gauss to well over 4 million. Actually, it's actually more like 6 to 8 million Gauss. But
whoa,
it's when you get that much of a Gauss field, the question I've always said, well, while we're writing new sod here, we're breaking new ground, because I don't know anybody that's ever done that powerful of a Gauss field. Well, my friend Jim said, well, there's a video, he sent it to me, where they put an amphibian frog and a toad both, put them on this huge Gauss pulse field of about 6,000 Gauss. You know what the frog did? Didn't die.
Yeah.
The frog began to levitate. It began to float around without defying gravitational field. And gravitation is really electromagnetic pull as well. So who knows what we can do with this stuff?
What you're doing is creating what's called a Higgs field boundary zone between gravitons, and you create a boundary zone, which is just basically like creating a bowl, so the gravitons push against the object and you have anti-gravity. That's, in fact, have you heard of the Society of the Bell? That's what the Germans channeled through their Thule Society, how the ancient Indians created the Vimana. And they used a boundary zone of mercury vapor in a plasma form to create a Higgs field boundary zone. But what you're talking about is similar things. Now, what you have to understand is the body, in this is the time of Adam and Eve, had a 4,000 times stronger Schumann resonance field. It's my feeling, from intuitive knowledge and studying the Bible and so on, they sat on a giant mineral deposit of trace and elemental minerals. And that mineral deposit generated what's called a mineral resonant Schumann field. I call it the Sabbath Edenic frequency, the Edenic Sabbath frequency field. And then what it did is it actually allowed your body to turn on your genes to make structural proteins and enzymes. So Adam and Eve lived over 900 years, not just kind of like month years, like, a different calendar. No, real years. And the reason why they lived longer, and they were giants by comparison, they've estimated, from the archaeologists who've gone to Turkey and discovered the ancient alders, and going right back to even Noah and his family, it's estimated that Adam was 18 feet tall and Eve was 13 foot 6. Now, these people lived over 900 years. In some parts of our world, they have 100 times more centenarians, and they all have indium in their diet and transuranic minerals, which, of course, you also make. And what they do is they actually chaperone minerals into your nucleoplasm to make your body, make the minerals turn on this induction of messenger RNA to make structural proteins and enzymes. Now, I can make those specific fields now. I can put them through the Sonic Life. I can put it through other devices. But you got to raise the energy of the cells, and that's what your little machines do. I recently got an injury to my right leg, and I used my photon sound beam and my QRS mat. This I call my resurrection machine. It really is amazing. I got to thank you, Dr. True. Thank you for your amazing little resurrection machines. And now we're selling a bunch of these Magi. You got to get one now, people. They're going to go off the shelf like crazy. Another $400. Get one today. Get an order in. We'll get it out to you right away.
Do you have Have difficulty taking supplements? Are you searching for a high-quality, complete nutritional drink that your whole family will love? NutriMedical's Life Support has arrived. All of your daily nutritional requirements in one quick, delicious drink. Dr. Bill Deagle's Life Support is a proprietary blend of vegan protein, activated vitamins, essential minerals, amino acids, probiotics, green tea, digestive enzymes, anti-inflammatories, cancer prevention, detoxification, and much more. Your body will high-five you for this one. Life Support is the best complete nutritious meal replacement on the market. Whether you are an elite athlete, have post-operative challenges, chronic illness, elderly, or a family that just wants a quick, delicious drink, try Dr. Bill Deagle's Life Support for optimized nutrition in one great-tasting smoothie. Just add cold water, almond milk, fruit, or anything else you like. NutriMedical's Life Support. Try our great-tasting chocolate or vanilla today. Call 888-212-8871 or visit us online at NutriMedical.com. NutriMedical.com for the whole family.
Legacy Emergency Foods is the top recommendation from Dr. Bill Deagle for the lowest oxygen concentration, the largest entrees, the highest amount of protein, the most varied entrees as well, and the longest food storage life. Nothing like Legacy Emergency Foods, and if you place a regular monthly order, you get 20% off and free shipping. Do get Emergency Foods for your supply for preparation, and get it from Legacy Foods. Contact Dr. Bill Deagle for the link at NutriMedical.com. Go to the Shop by Products link and drop-down message at NutriMedical.com, and then place your orders for regular emergency food for yourself and your family. Nothing like emergency food if the power goes out and you can't go to grocery stores, or if there's an emergency or a national crisis. So NutriMedical.com, top recommendation, Legacy Foods. NutriMedical.com, go to the Shop by Products and drop-down menu, and stay well with NutriMedical every day of your life. Lumen photon therapy, infrared light, far and near infrared, is extremely important for pain control, stimulation of nitric oxide, improved perfusion, and stem cell activation and reduction of cytokines. Dr. Bill uses it for pain control, for regeneration techniques, for organ regeneration, and for stimulation of your stem cell activity. This amazing lumen photon therapy this year will probably have an additional device with frequency therapy during the on phase of the lights. To obtain a lumen photon machine, contact Dr. Bill at NutriMedical.com, 888-212-8871. He'll prescribe it with the providing nutraceuticals to help with your regeneration, healing, and pain control. Nothing like the lumen photon therapy for easy therapy for your eyes, your pain, your joints, regeneration of organs, detoxification of the body. Get a lumen photon machine from Dr. Bill Deagle, NutriMedical.com, 888-212-8871. Stay well with NutriMedical. The Sonic Life Machine is one of the most amazing therapies that Dr. Bill provides. It is the best sine wave exercise machine on the planet, doing whole body vibration, opening up the muscle to reduce insulin resistance, improve perfusion, release stem cell therapies throughout the body, and epigenetically stimulate the body to release DNA activated. The epigenetic therapy with the sine wave curve of frequencies given for atomic resonance, but Linus Pauling for minerals and amino acids stimulates the production of messenger RNA to correct structural protein enzyme deficiency for almost every illness. There's nothing like the sine wave therapy for improving body healing for exercise, but also the epigenetic treatments Dr. Bill can provide can help neutralize frequencies for disease states and illness. Get a Sonic Life machine through Dr. Bill Deagle at NutriMedical.com. Contact us at NutriMedical.com, 888-212-8871, or go to the website NutriMedical and give us a contact. Dr. Bill is available to help you get well with NutriMedical.
Need a powerful ally to fight daily bugs and serious pathogens? Allicin Med is the powerful universal pathogen killer's latest advance of German-sourced allicin, enzymatically stabilized to clear the body of bacteria, fungi, mycobacteria, and parasites. It penetrates body biofilms and is non-toxic to tissues. Pathogen resistance cannot develop for long-term body-optimized wellness. Clear stealth pathogens that promote autoimmune disease, cancer and vascular inflammation and plaque and promote healing of tissues. Now pathogen-free. With 200 milligrams more power than prior Alamed, you can't get a more powerful ally to fight daily bugs and serious pathogens. Give your body what it needs. Allicin Med. Order Dr. Bill Deagle's Nutridyne at 888-212-8871 or NutriMedical.com. That's 1-888-212-8871 or NutriMedical.com. And listen to the NutriMedical Report on the Genesis Radio Network with open lines every weekday. NutriMedical.com, bringing nutrition and medicine together.
And welcome back. I'm really entertained here by listening to Dr. True. And of course, I learn, plus I ask questions, plus I try to expand and stand on the shoulder of all the giants, like Dr. True, Dr. Linus Pauling, Nikola Tesla, Raymond Rife, all these scientists. And what's neat is we are seeing further than the giants upon their shoulders of. Just like the statement by, Sir Isaac Newton. He said, don't think I'm so great because I stand on the shoulders of previous giants. What we're doing here with a combination of things like my red deer velvet, nakamycin, and resurrection beam technology like the Magi and the Selvito mat and so on. For example, I had a fall last week and injured my right leg. I used a combination of the QRS mat and my photon sound beam, and I've been resurrecting my right leg. It's coming back real fast. And I got to tell people, I'm 67 and a half, and if you can get your leg healed as fast as I am with this, you need one of these machines, man. And at the very least, you need to get a Magi immediately. Place an order now. We'll get it out to you. And Dr. True, what do you think will happen to people's lives when they start putting these inductive fields and they take the right nutraceuticals? And they're going to need both. You need the right NutriMeds and the right electrical fields to re-energize your body so you have the energy to heal. What do you think is going to happen to their lives when they combine the best NutriMeds and the best field effects like a Magi, Selvito mat, photon sound beam, violet ray machine?
Well, it's just one four-letter word, Dr. Bill. It's called life.
Right.
Okay? And I got to say, this is not anything to do with me personally. It literally is, inspiration given to me by the Creator of the universe Himself.
Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. We are brothers in the Lord. We are part of the body of the Queen of Heaven that's about to be revealed. So you and I are like cells in the body. We're like two foveal cells in the central visual field of the eye of the Creator's bride wife. We're foveal cells. How's that?
I had to laugh. My pastor gave it about a year ago, talking about the importance of the body of Christ. And all the body has different parts. Some body's the brain, some parts the heart, et cetera, et cetera. Well, I had come to my master. I said, well, now you know what I'm all about. You have to have a good butthole to work too to get rid of waste.
You're a funny guy. I would put you up there with me as a little cell in the fovea, the center of the visual field, so you get a vision of the future. It says in the Bible, "My people perish for lack of vision." Vision requires you asking questions, looking for anomalies, looking for paradoxes, because a paradox or anomaly is an answer to a question you haven't asked yet. And what you've done in your research is like Linus Pauling and all these other scientists, even Dr. Fisher in his work is to actually answer questions and develop the Fibonacci frequency sequence to say, hey, we can give you the energy field that'll help you recover from a sports injury or degeneration or resurrect your body, regenerate it, if you take all the right nutraceuticals and maybe peptides or other things. And your body can actually be bidirectional for aging. It doesn't have to go unidirectional, one direction. It can turn back and heal itself. So I believe we're going to see if people are going to live longer, live better, have less injuries, take less drugs, need less surgery if they use a Magi and the Selvito mat and the photon sound beam. They're going to have a lot of people healed without cutting and without excessive drugs, right?
Well, here's what I envision with this, Dr. Bill. Looking at the evidence from the scriptures of Jesus of Nazareth, he touched people and they were healed. The lame and the people that are quadriplegic, that couldn't even walk, he touched them and they walked again, they healed. Well, what caused that? Is that just a mythology or some fantastic fairy tale? No. Because you see, it all fits together. If you have that field of energy in your fingertips, which comes from God, the God part of Him, right? He's half God, half man. You're also going to be able to do amazing things with water. You're going to be able to walk on the water. You're going to be able to turn water into wine and do all manner of things.
I think all of us have some portion of that. I've heard and seen from other health professionals over the last 40-some years. I'd say 20% of health professionals, doctors, nurses, surgeons, whatever, are empaths and are more intuitive. Now, all of us have the gift nascently, but some a lot more. And
well, the point,
go ahead.
I wanted to Bill, the science is known that the body can heal and repair itself pretty amazingly. You break a bone, it takes a few weeks, but it will knit itself and actually be stronger in the place where it was broken. The calcium ions come form together, and you have pain, edema, swelling, but at the end of 6 weeks or so, your bone is knitted. Well, why is it that a spinal cord injury, though, resulting in paralysis, leaves you paralyzed? Why can't the body heal that? What's unique about the spinal fluid, the spinal column itself, and those nerves that stop the repair? I submit the secret to that is in the Gauss field. If the Gauss field is increased, I submit the healing energy along the spinal nerve columns, this 21 nerves that come through the spinal column, can be regenerated. That's what I foresee happening with this exploratory work in the acoustic Gauss range. I say that because Dr. Dean Bodley, his company called Magnetico, he did a lot of work on high Gauss fields with that in mind, trying to heal spinal cord injuries, and took baby steps. You know, when you have somebody that can't move his or her hand or feet, and after intensive magnetic Gauss treatments, they can start moving those extremities ever so slightly and retraining those muscles. Well, that's a pretty good first step. And so I think, again, focusing along the spinal column, what's called the vagus nerve, where the vagus nerve can be connected and re-energized to the magnetic Gauss. I'll tell you this. With the work I've seen with these photon sound beam, you talk about healing. I have personally witnessed broken bones literally healed in days, not weeks. Completely healed them. The rate of increase in the fast rate of regeneration is as much as 50 to 60% faster. That's conservatively. Okay, so it's all about saturating the body with those negative ionic polarities. That is the healing mechanism. Frustrating, because I was doing this in a research work back in the late 90s. I was working with a chiropractor who was on contract with a local university, and here's our starting point guard on the basketball team had a very, very severe high ankle sprain, and was slated to miss the entire postseason. He used the last game of the season. He was supposed to be out 2 to 3 weeks, so that puts him out of the conference tournament. If they qualified for the NCAAs, he's out of that. Well, I said, wait a minute, I think I can do something here, and so I brought the photon in and put an intensive treatment on it, and amazingly, he was back to full contact in 3 days. Now, when the sports information director, he came under heat because suddenly he put out the information that Jeff, the starting point guard, would be out for postseason, and he's back in the conference tournament and becomes MVP, right? And this college is my alma mater, where I graduated. Actually, went and qualified for the NCAA tournament. They were the 15th seed and played Pittsburgh that year. And here's their star guard, their main spark plug of the team, who's supposed to have been out. Well, the NCAA made some inquiries. And you know what happened, Dr. Bill? Well, they found out, he did have this high ankle sprain, but how it was healed. You would think that they would say, wow, we need to get this more information out so all the NCAA can benefit. These are student athletes. These are not paid professionals. Why should they be on crutches in a walking boot if they can be reversed and healed naturally? No. What the NCAA came back and they said, if this is not approved by the FDA, it's not approved by the FDA, you cannot use it, and if you continue, you'll have sanctions against you. Now that's nuts. I'm sorry, that's nuts. Hey, look at the information. The college, the university came down to me and said, Dr. Ott, wow, you put us in a bad spot. We can't have you touching any of our athletes anymore. We can't even have you consulting with our athletes anymore. You are
you embarrass them by making one of their guys better. That's funny, eh?
Yeah. I said, really?
No.
Wow, you're supposed to be supporting your alumnus. Wow. So don't ask me for any more donations then if you don't want me to help the athletes. Come on. what's wrong with the NCAA? Talk about a corrupt organization. I'm sorry.
Yeah, exactly.
It frustrated me, Doc. It still does, because I know what this can do to sports medicine. I know what it can do.
Well, not just sports medicine. Look, if every sports stadium, if every high school, if every senior home, if every even working place would have some of the simple devices. Let's say you get injured and you're just sitting too long in your cubicle. Put a Magi on your back and flip it on. If you go to a rehab facility, from chiropractic, massage, whatever, and they all had these technology, whatever they do, manipulation, massage, you're going to heal a lot faster. And you're also going to need the supplements too, but the supplements will work better if you're pulsing with a pulse magnetic field to raise your energy of your cells.
One of our alpha testers that we had was one of the people who worked in the factory of the board machine. He was in the engineering department. He was intrigued by what we were doing. He asked to have one in Tesla, and I said, sure. So we let him take one on this Labor Day hike in the high Uintas at 14,000 feet. He involved hiking 12 miles with a friend with a 70-pound pack on his back. He came back and told me the most incredible testimonial. He says, I've done this every year for 20-plus years. That's what we do. My friend and I, we had a standing date to go up there and do that. He says, here I am above the tree line where oxygen is scarce. And I'm looking back at my friend with the same weighted pack, and he's having to stop and catch his breath. He's starting to hyperventilate because there's no oxygen. He says, I remember that's what I was last year. But this time, I was like, come on, what's keeping you? And he's looking at me like looking. He said, why are you not puffing and puffing? And he comes back and he asked me. He said, could this be what did that? Because he says, the next morning I woke up with no muscles, very little muscle soreness or aching.
Amazing, isn't it?
Big muscle.
Yeah.
No lactic acid buildup. And I said, look, a magnetic field, especially the higher the Gauss field, the more it expands the use of your hemoglobin, the iron in your blood, which carries oxygen.
Right. So in fact, it generates ozone rate in your tissue to get rid of cytokines, raise the oxygen level, raise the stem cell active regenerative level. I mean, these are resurrection machines, aren't they?
Well, he said, I don't want to give this back to you. Is that okay if I keep it? I says, well, more power to you, but he was like, he says, to market this to hikers, to mountaineers, mountain climbers. It's so simple. It goes on my lower back, and I didn't turn it on. And he says, I'm sold. I'll never go in the mountains again without it. I said, why not use it every day? I said, you don't need to wait till you go hiking. But see, so sports teams, amateur sports, I think it could really increase your potential.
Okay. Yeah. Let's talk about the potential for other illnesses. Let's start off with the feet. Let's say you're diabetic and you have poor circulation and you have peripheral neuropathy. You need to get one of these Celvito mats or QRS mats. We have both available. The difference is about $500 for the Celvito. It's the latest generation. You need to get a photon sound beam. Now, if you got something minor or if you got things you want to just generate energy in your body and generate the healing force, get this new Magi device. These are essential for life in a toxic world. And right now we've got not only 5G network but smart grid, and our bodies are being impinged by all these toxins. This knocks the toxins out by just raising your cell energy. Now I have a device that's on a epigenetic frequency that generates an antenna field to actually block the radiation. But you want to raise your cell energy, you need a Magi. You need a Celvito mat. When I use my QRS mat, which I'm literally sitting on right now, and I use my photon sound beam on that leg that hurt, it's a miracle. It's a miracle. And I take lots of supplements, and I do when I'm not stopping my supplements. I can take the Inflamex, arthritics, et cetera, et cetera. But they work a lot better when I'm using my energy fields. And that's what I want people to understand. You don't need non-steroidal anti-inflammatories. You don't need steroids. You don't need joint replacements. You don't need this and that. You need the right energy fields to regenerate your energy, and you need the right supplements. It's that simple, isn't it?
There's another. We'll get back on you with this one, Dr. Bill, because it's going to take about 2 weeks. But my friend was telling me about the government low-income housing complex in back east. I know we're out of time this segment. I'll tell you about it when I come back.
Okay. Back in just a minute.
Are you still looking for that one iodine that you can really trust? A medical doctor-endorsed product that is backed by honest research and true integrative science? Then search no further. Go to NutriMedical.com for Dr. Bill Deagle's Nutriodine, proven time and time again to be the very best iodine available for you. Nutriodine is the only Tesla-activated monatomic plasma iodine in the world. It optimizes mitochondrial function and generation of new mitochondria, from totally neutralizing the venom from a desert recluse spider bite in Southern California to eliminating malaria parasites reported by medical missionaries in Central India. Dr. Bill's Nutriodine is simply the most powerful healing formula there is. Nutriodine clears the body of all known pathogens, restores it to an alkaline state, and even promotes stem cell regeneration. Order Dr. Bill's Nutriodine today at 888-212-8871 or visit us online at NutriMedical.com.
Red Deer Velvet DR is an amazing new product with a patent to preserve 300 biomolecules and 6 hormones, same as fetal life, where you don't age at all. The state of fetal life allows the 300 biomolecules and 6 hormones produced by the placenta to be supportive of the regeneration of tissues and organs, with maximum apoptosis, changing the tissue and organ structure of a fetus. That's why if fetal surgery is performed, there is no scar. Taking 2 to 3 capsules twice a day with oncomycin, myco-D2, provides an amazing support for regeneration of any tissue and organ in the body, and even advanced stem cell therapy support treatment. Do get NutriMedical's Red Deer Velvet DR from Dr. Bill Deagle at NutriMedical.com, NutriMedical.com, 888-212-8871. Stay well and stay young with NutriMedical. Hi, I'm Dr. Bill Deagle, MD, AAEM, ACAM, A4M, of NutriMedical.com, and a consultant providing email advice free on advanced protocols for your optimized wellness and advanced technologies to heal and regenerate you. You can contact us at NutriMedical.com, that's NutriMedical.com, or 888-212-8871. You get free email starter protocols of our top medical-grade nutraceuticals, initial testing, and recommendations for your own primary doctor to do, as well as recommendations to give you an idea of a consultation and a full protocol to try to help you regenerate your tissues, heal naturally without the use of toxic polypharmacy. I can send test kits to you as well anywhere in the world and provide you recommendations to referral of specialty clinics worldwide. So contact me, Dr. Bill Deagle, at NutriMedical.com. That's NutriMedical.com, or 888-212-8871. At NutriMedical.com, we have the most amazing drinks with the best mouthfeel, highest quality bionutrient exposure to your body to heal and regenerate, and the most powerful persistence of nutrients to heal your body dramatically. We have Ageless, which makes you age less, which repairs your DNA, extends your telomeres, etc. We have Life Support that detoxes phase 2 detox pathways, glucuronidation, sulfation, and methylation pathway support. We have Glycemics that blocks the carbohydrate absorption and helps with diabetes or weight loss, and as well helps with people that are trying to build up muscle, using things like our special formulas from Dr. Wolf called Mega Muscles between meals along with Sports Energy Light. We have the amazing Nutri-Complete, the most complete red and greens drink in the world, with the best mouthfeel and flavor. You can often mix it too with Vitamin Mineral Mix, which is our fruit-flavored mixed power of vitamin minerals. Stay well with NutriMedical every day.
I remember when I lost my mind. There was something so pleasant about that.
Love this energizing technology of the QRS and Salvino mat and the Photon sound beam. They're amazing. And we're coming back now, so I guess we were talking on the break there with Dr. True. So, Dr. True, if people get a Salvino mat and a Photon sound beam, and then maybe an Magi, what can they expect will happen to their body?
Well, first of all, the quantum resonance system, QRS, it's a different than the Magi in that the Gauss field is very, very small in comparison.
Right.
As I'm measuring it with my trifometer, it's probably in the neighborhood of like 2,500 Gauss versus a static magnet 250,000 Gauss.
Right.
So it's a very small Gauss. But what makes it unique is there's a whole range of frequency harmonics
Right.
that the cell can hear these things through the telomere antennas that the human ear cannot pick up on.
It talks to the genes, in other words. It talks to your genes in
Yeah,
your...
I have an oscilloscope that can measure the range, the ratios of these frequencies, and that's what a pulse electromagnetic field is all about. So it does that. It's like Dr. Fisher explained to me. It's like putting out a smorgasbord, a good Austrian term, a big banquet table full of all kinds of delectable foods. And the cells can pick and choose what they need or what they really like, and don't have to worry. It's a parasympathetic thing. You don't have to think about breathing; you just do it. Because
exactly. In other words, it gives the energy of the body so it can heal itself, is what you're saying.
Exactly. And so, given that fact, and given what the photon sound beam does, as far as we know that with that energy field that's pulsing, it first of all oxygenates. Number one, it oxygenates. Number two, it oxygenates. Number three, it oxygenates. Okay, that's what it does. We've without a doubt.
You can even, by the way, see the actual and smell it's present of ozone. So it's super oxygenation. It's like when I put people in a hyperbaric chamber, I give them a little oxygenator to 1.3 atmospheres. This device is cool because it actually oxygenates just sitting there, putting the photon electrodes against your skin or holding them with your hands. Your whole body gets oxygenated.
So following the lead of Nikola Tesla, who said, never underestimate the power of 3, 6, and 9, 6 being not as powerful as 3 and not as powerful as 9, using that formula, well, okay, you got the QRS, that's number 1, you got the photon sound beam, number 2. Well, number 3, you need to have a micropulse of higher Gauss, in my opinion, to magnify the effect of the other 2. And that's why that's what led me actually to come up with the Magi. I was thinking, okay, well, here's all this research on static magnetic fields and minerals. I mean, the Saudi Arabian study, where they took date palms that had been there for dozens of years, date palm groves where they harvest these commercial dates. They put a static magnetic field of about, I think it was about 8,000 Gauss, very, very minimal actually,
right,
on a set of trees, the date palm trees. One to see if they would affect the harvest. Would be more dates or less dates, bigger dates, etc. Not any difference in mass of the quantity of the dates that were harvested. They weren't bigger, they weren't more plentiful. But then they cut into them and began to analyze the nutritional content. And anywhere from 30 to 50%, depending on the mineral, there was more mineralization happening. Now, same water, same soil, same age of trees, everything uniform, but the static field increased the minerals. Now, how did that work? See, they quantified it, but they can't explain how. Well, I think I can. Minerals are frequencies of energy that come out. Where did the minerals come from in the first place in your soil? You know, it really does. The minerals have a crystalline structure of frequency. That's what they work. So if you have a magnetic field into the structural DNA of a date or a wheat kernel, what have you, it's going to increase the mineral content of the food you eat. Now, again, it goes back to what we talked about during the break, Dr. Bill. During the time, it was called antediluvian era, before the flood. First of all, science says there was no such thing as a flood. The Bible is fiction. Well, no, there was a flood. There's ample evidence of that, and so we say that there was differences in the atmosphere. There was differences in the electromagnetic field, the field of the Earth itself. Why do we say this? Because you know what? In a high magnetic Gauss field chamber, they found that light acts differently. You shine light, so that it has a different glow. In fact, you put it up on on a crystal, you won't see a spectrum of light come out. It won't refract and form the nanometers of the rainbow colors. Vis-a-vis, there's no rainbows formed because the light refracts differently through the water vapor. So we see in the Bible that there was after Noah, the flood waters receded and Noah went on dry land, there was a rainbow for the first time seen, and that was a covenant with God and man that he would no longer destroy the earth by water. Well, that's in the Bible. That's biblical.
So one of the you gave me an idea that I call an inspiration from God, that one of the technologies might use to be a form of phased array diversion of oxygen to rob oxygen from fire. And the same thing is, you can oxygenate from fire, you can probably rob oxygen so we can't support the body. So if you phase this weapon at somebody who robbed the oxygen from their body and they dropped to the ground, unconscious. Or if you tamed it in a fire, it would rob the oxygen from the fire so it wouldn't feed it. What we have to understand is what you're doing is you're feeding the body with oxygen and you're raising the energy of the cells. And the cells then can rebuild the tissues, get rid of stealth pathogens, rebuild the cellular structure, and that's I call resurrection. And so how valuable is that? You can get a device for $400 or less than $400 to actually resurrect your tissues.
Dr. Bill,
or a Salvino mat or a QRS mat and a photon sound beam. These are valuable. And it's not just for you. You can your entire family, your friends that come over. And you don't have to be on it for hours and hours. You can do 24 minutes on this a day. It transforms your life, doesn't it? The Salvino mat or the QRS mat.
Well,
right?
It does. Let's assume the Bible is accurate and the prophetic second coming is accurate too. The world will be destroyed by fire. A blast furnace is a classic example. You look at what happens in a furnace. Well, to increase the core temperature in order to melt metals and to do that, you have to have more oxygen blasted into it.
Right.
That's what a blast furnace is.
Right.
More oxygen, hotter the flame. Okay. So the reality of what's happening, not only in California this year, right now as we speak, but in fires of the past, things were happening that couldn't be explained. I've talked to people that were there on the scene that witnessed. There was a fire crew that went from my place in northern Utah down to help fight the big fires of last season, if you remember correctly. And they came back, and I want to have him on my radio show because he says, I saw things that were just unexplained. Metal hoods of cars becoming pools of liquid metal, and
right.
That
doesn't seem normal because the temperature you need is like 3,000 degrees. I don't know how a fire can do that. A regular, like a grass or wood fire.
Is to have extreme oxygenation happening, which is an anomaly itself, or concentrated energy of electromagnetic nature, aka a DEW, a directed energy weapon. Those are the only two ways that you can witness metal, even cinder blocks. A cinder block wall melting into glass. Now, come on now. That doesn't happen normally in a normal forest fire.
Yeah.
Things are happening strangely. And, of course, what's happening in Northern California, the Santa Ana winds are extreme. They're 70-mile-per-hour gusts, which are really causing the inferno to increase. Accidental? I don't believe so. Absolutely not.
No, not at all. No.
I did a presentation called Whether or Not, showing the technology that's been patented and applied to create weather changes. I did this at the conspiracy conference, did a PowerPoint presentation. You just look at, these are patents that are issued and are controlled by the government agencies now. This is
exactly.
A child's play for them to dial this up and through a satellite microwave beam and create these fires.
Well, they have dew weapons. In fact, one of my friends actually, who was a techie who worked in the military, was up last year, and he said there were so many dew weapons, both space-based and even drones with dews or direct energy weapons, they couldn't drop fire retardant because it's getting in the way of the helicopters up in Northern California.
Yep. So, people, this is not by accident. Again, you got people who think, first of all, they're anti-Christ in nature. They know Christ is divine. They know that. They know of his history. But you say they've taken oaths to hate him and to destroy him. These are the type of people we're fighting against. The Apostle Paul said we war not against flesh and blood, but against these principalities and powers that you see want to destroy life and make life more difficult. Jesus came to bring life, to give life. And so we sit there in this craziness, whether it's Donald Trump. Come on, Dr. Bill. Listen up, people. Senator, Vice President Biden's son, Hunter, was deeply involved in scandal in the Ukraine. So was Hillary Clinton and the Clinton Foundation.
Exactly.
Their entire server was based in Ukraine. There was investigation going on at the highest levels on Hunter Biden and Joe Biden's connections into this Illuminati group, and billions of dollars withheld by Biden to stop the investigation from happening. That's all that Trump wanted to know about was like, okay, can you give us the particulars?
Well, it's the same. By the way, the same thing as healthcare. Healthcare's not helping you or wanting you to do this. I'm sure they'll be upset by the fact you might take away from their business. Senior homes, people needing joint replacements, people dying of heart failure, people ending up in nursing facilities for lots of money. I mean, you're ruining business, man. What's wrong with you? Don't you understand? You're taking away.
Why is there no Washington Post journalists? Why is there nobody speaking about, hey, what did Joe Biden actually do? Because he was vice president.
Well, we would say, I can't believe the nerve of these people, though. Even though Hillary, and of course she's indwelt by a Draco reptilian monstrosity, and all of our leaders, people say, oh no, they're not possessed. I said, these are not just greedy and self-centered or sexually perverted people. They are avatared by trans-dimensional beings. Just like Jesus when he cast out the demoniac at the Gadareans. We're dealing with world leaders that are so evil, and the problem is, you see, the same thing with their healthcare system. They're not the healthcare system designed to actually take care of you. I call it not Obamacare, I call it embalming care. Do you like that? Embalming care?
Yeah.
Embalming care. Now, you want to disembalm your body, use a Salvito mat, the Magi, take my supplements, get yourself detoxified, drink clean filtered water from a pure water system, get yourself prepared and get away from the system. Get away from fake religion. Get away from fake politics. And by the way, the fake politics involves people like, look at Romney, this fake satanic Mormon. I mean, Trump's not perfect. The guy's got a few things right about him, and he's pretty screwed up, though. He's got bad advisors around him. I'm trying to get through to the knucklehead, because if he pushes 5G network and genetically modified food and fracking, things like Northern California, with deep water, he's going to trigger off some pretty big earthquakes and give us poisonous, toxic groundwater. The fact is that we are not addressing problems because we're led by leaders that have either no knowledge of the truth about good and evil, and no knowledge of how to solve these problems, or they're involved directly with evil. They're actually perpetrating evil on us, and we don't even believe it. Oh, that's a conspiracy theory. No, it's not a theory, is it? Your comment, Dr. Drew.
Yeah, I just submit simply Donald Trump is a puppet. This is
of course he is.
Puppet for him.
Remember that song that was sang by when they have the song for the puppet for Pinocchio? I have no string. Dun, 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 dun. Remember that song?
Exactly. But that's exactly what's happening. Donald Trump is doing exactly what they put him in to do, to be divisive. Exactly. And to cause.
Maybe we can pray for the man and pray for America. Let me tell you, we're in deep trouble, aren't we?
We are. But again, God is more powerful than anything.
Yeah, but guess what? You need to take yourself out of the system, get your Magi, get your Salvito mat, get your supplements, get yourself prepared for what's coming, because it's on the doors now. It's not distantly away. 5G networks here, smart grids here, fires are here. It's all ready to consume you.